everyone, welcome back to my channel. First of all, so sorry again for the 12,000th time that I haven't been making videos. I just haven't. That's my bad. So I decided to come on here because I'm going to be doing a new segment on my channel and it's called Chit Chat with Cat. Subtitle here. So this is going to be me basically just sharing my life about stories, experiences, embarrassing moments, funny moments that I have experienced in my life in being Catherine Fisher. I also thought it would be cool just to share my advice. And no, I'm not a psychologist, I do not have a degree, but I definitely think I have some wisdom on certain things that could possibly help you guys out, especially some of you girls who are younger and in a high school or middle school. I want these like little segments to be short enough where you guys don't lose interest, but long enough where you can actually get some content. So this happened about a month and a half ago, and for those of you who do not know, I work at a Mexican restaurant. I am a hostess most of the time, but my boss sometimes puts me behind the bar. So most people who are at the bar are just getting to-go orders or actually eating at the bar. So I'm kind of like a waitress on Friday nights. This particular Friday night, a guy came in. He looked really young, but he was super tall, and he came and sat at the bar. And I didn't think anything of it, so I went over and I was like, hey, what do you want to drink? So the night kind of progresses, and let me just tell you, he is the most obnoxious guy I have ever encountered. I mean, he was just so loud. He wanted to be heard all the time, so he would engage in conversation with people, but for the most part, he just wanted to hear himself talk. And I felt so bad for this couple. There was a guy and a girl, kind of older, maybe in their 50s, were sitting down right next to him, and he would not stop talking. You could clearly see like the wife getting really annoyed, and I was just like, I'm just laughing over there. He was waiting on his friend, and his friend was like an hour late. He calls his friend and he was like, hey, where are you at? And so I can overhear him talking and kind of arguing with his friend, and he was like, just come, because his friend, I guess, wasn't wanting to come or anything. So I was talking to the obnoxious guy, just kind of making small talk. So his friend comes in, and I initially don't see him. His friend immediately, like, just loved me. I mean, and I'm not saying that like arrogantly, he just liked me. Immediately I thought he was a really attractive guy. Just kind of had like swag and just like really smooth talking. For the sake of his identity, I'm going to call him Jess. So Jess, he was like super sweet. He would always really be intentional, meaning like he would ask me a lot of questions, and he didn't cuss. He didn't order an alcoholic drink. He didn't make any like sexual comments or crude comments. Honestly, because I go to a secular college, because I'm in that environment, it was really refreshing, because usually what happens when I meet a guy, meaning like when I encounter a guy out on the streets and everything, I can immediately tell when, like, you know, their just beliefs are different from mine, which is completely fine. I'm just not interested in them. So there weren't a lot of like red flags, I would say. I was attracted to him. The night kind of ends. They were leaving, and he wrote on the receipt, and he was like, I'd really like to get to know you, and then his like phone number, call me. Oh, and time out, he gave me like a $15 tip out of a $6 meal. So it was like way over 50%. So I was like, oh, okay. He was like, yeah, call me. I'd really like to get to know you. And so I was like, okay. I made the mistake of texting him, which wasn't a big deal, but I knew I could have cut it off, meaning like I didn't have to text him. So I texted him, and I was like, thanks for the tip. Immediately when you texted that, it was like the okay for him, because he began texting me. And so we went kind of back and forth. I kind of quickly realized that he doesn't really have like a relationship with the Lord. I probably wouldn't really be interested in dating him. Not because he wasn't a good guy, but just because we don't share the same beliefs or anything. He quickly realized that I was a Christian, and that, you know, I love the Lord, that I spent a lot of time at church, like that I was really dedicated to church and everything. And I'm telling you, it was like night and day. There was nothing other than we were both attracted to each other that we could relate on. He was like, I'd really like to take you out, and that kind of thing. And I was like, and I agreed. And then I talked it over with one of my best friends. So I like texted him. I was like, hey, I'm really sorry, but I think it's better if we don't go on the date. Like, I think you're a really good guy, but it's not gonna go anywhere and I don't want to lead you on. This is where it got interesting. He was like, well, why don't you think this will work out? Then I had to get into the, well, you know, we do different things. It's just different beliefs. And I don't want to date someone who has different beliefs than me. And so I'm going through all that. And he's like, well, honestly, Catherine, I've really been wanting to change. At one point, he was like, he goes, I really think, Catherine, like, you're my angel sent from heaven. Like, God put you in my life to change me. And I'm like, okay. It got to a point where it was getting kind of ridiculous, basically changing who he is because he wanted to go on a date with me. And I was like, I'd love for you to go to church and I can hook you up with a guy who can answer all your questions about the Lord. We ended on pretty good terms. Like, he accepted it and everything, and that was all right. And about a week later, he comes to the Mexican restaurant. This time he's with his ex-girlfriend. Completely a different guy. I'm just like, who are you right now? He went on and on that night that we talked about how it was best for me and my girlfriend to break up, and she just like was into all that party stuff and I wasn't. Just total BS. I know I could have shut it down like by not even texting him. I say all that to say that guys and girls, but mostly guys, will literally change their whole personality. They'll change what they like, their interests, they'll change their dislikes, they'll change what they do, their hobbies and everything. They will literally change everything about them, just like this guy did. He wanted to find Jesus and he wanted to go on a date with me. So I would caution all of you girls that he might act like a really sweet guy. He might seem like he has the same interests in you when you first meet him. He might be Prince Charming on a white horse in a robe. But looks can be deceiving, and not only that, people can be deceiving. Don't fall for that, oh, he has the same interest in me and that kind of thing, because as soon as he starts picking up on your interest, on what you like, he's gonna twist his personality to fit your personality. And that's not every guy. You just gotta be careful, and you need to determine the genuine guys from the shady guys. That's my little spiel, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Get a big thumbs up. Okay, bye.